Guys, narinig nyo mabuti, every turn, marirecycle yung card nyo. Okay? So, hindi ka pwede dito mag-pass dahil mawawala yung mga cards mo. Okay? Paliwanag ko na mabuti. Ang pagkakasabi dito ni Philip, yung mga cards mo kapag natapos yung turn mo ay mawawala. Okay? Okay guys, welcome back to the channel. So, part 2 tayo ngayon ng ating Battles V3 Origin Leaks. Ayan. So, I hope meron kayong mga bagong natutunan dito sa parating na Origin doon sa nauna nating video, no? Sa part 1 natin, itutuloy natin yung video. Right now, nag-stop tayo kanina sa mga teams, no? Na magagamit mo sa PvE at sa PvP. So, magkakaroon tayo ng starter axis. Tapos, ma-unlock natin yung mga ibang starter axis para makapaglaro tayo sa PvP at sa arena at saka pwede din tayo maglaro sa PvE, okay? Dun sa adventure. Ayan. So, gaya nga na nabanggit ko nung sa unang part ng ating video ay magkakaroon ka ng first character which is si Buba. Ayan. Si Buba ay yung kulay yellow na Axie. And then, ma-unlock mo yung mga Axies as you go along with the game, no? And completing those adventures and hitting milestones. Now, ang sabi dito sa cheat sheets ko, hindi ka rin, nabanggit ko rin nung una na hindi ka rin makaka-earn ng SLP using those starter axes. Ayan. Pagpatuloy natin yung video natin.
Gotcha. Okay, so people will be able to mix and match a little bit where you can play with a blockchain Axie, you could play with a starter Axie. Man, that opens up a whole lot of potential. How many starter Axies are there? Is it just one team that people can use, or is there a variability between the starter Axies?
Yeah, there's a bunch. I actually don't know the exact number off the top of my head, but I think there's at least like 7 or 8 of them to start. Like there'll be more over time, but you do have to earn them by playing PvE, and some of them.
There you go. So, makaka-earn ka pala ng axis mo kapag naglalaro ka ng adventure. Okay? So, ma-earn mo yung mga starter axis mo as you go along. Tas, for now, meron na tayong 7 starter axis na habang tumatagal, habang dinedevelop nila yung game, ay magkakaroon tayo ng mas maraming starter axis. And, pwede ka makapag-PBE, no? Pero wala ka lang ma-earn na SLP.
Some of them we haven't even revealed yet, and they look super cool. So super excited for people to get to those points in PvE adventure and kind of earn these starter axes that they can use that are really cool looking.
Awesome. I mean, is it fair to kind of express the starter axes almost as like a tutorial for new players, or would you not frame it that way?
So they're definitely, for the tutorial, as most new players will be using starter axes. But yeah, they still have, have use in PvP and all these other areas. It doesn't mean they're, will just completely get dominated by blockchain axes. But yeah, the big difference at that point will be like that you can't earn using them. So there's kind of a very clear difference there.
Okay, so yan na, clear sa atin lahat mga lodi, no? Sa starter axis, sa mga bagong gusto magsimula pa lang sa Axie Infinity, wala kayong makukuhang SLP kapag lumalaban kayo sa PvP, okay? And at the same time, it will serve as a tutorial, no? As a tutorial dun sa PvE, sa adventure, tutorial kung paano gamitin yung Axie, ano ba yung mga characteristics ng isang Axie, ano ba yung mga parts, ano ba yung cards, ano ba yung synergy, di ba? So, dun yung malalaman kung anong effect ng isang card sa isang Axie. Pag chinain ba, alam mo din yung mangyayari kapag chinain mo or kinombo mo. Ayan, maintindihan nyo rin kung ano yung chain, ano yung combo. Ayan. So, ilipat natin sa ipagpatuloy natin kasi meron dito mababanggit na lightsaber crab and also yung mga minions. So, meron palang mga cards na mailo-launch dito sa Axie Infinity Origin na magsasamon ka ng mga minions. And more minions, syempre, possible na mas malaki yung damage mo and mas maganda yung synergy ng atake mo. Okay? Mamaya ipapaliwanag ko rin sa inyo kung ano mangyayari pagdating sa bagong game na to ng Origin, kung paano siya lalaruin, paano ba yung mechanics ng laro. Kasi totally mag-iiba yung pagtingin nyo o mag-iiba talaga yung gameplay dito pagdating sa Origin. Hindi na siya katulad ngayon na pares kayo, pipili kayo ng cards, tapos itatapon nyo, tapos magra-run na yung round. Doon, hindi. Okay, papaliwanag natin yan mamaya.
That makes a lot of sense to me. So V2 Axies, we talked about this. They'll be able to be used in V3. Scrolling through here. Oh yeah, this was another one. I'm actually curious about this. What's the deal with that lightsaber wielding hermit crab? Is that like a new Axie companion that you can leak for us? Is this guy a Jedi Master, a Sith Lord? Like, what do we got going on here?
Yeah, the hermit crab is definitely been one of the popular, I think, assets in that graphic. Certain cards within the new Origin gameplay will allow Axies to summon minions. And
there you go, guys. Some of the cards sa Origin will be able to summon minions. So, yan, makakita kayo ng mga hermit crabs or any type of mga small animals na or small insects na kasama ng mga Axie natin while tayo ay naglalaro. So, pwede nating isamon yun. So, some of the cards or medyo siguro maraming cards na ganun, pero ilan sa mga cards ay magkakaroon ng ability to summon minions in order for them to synergize a huge affecting or huge damage attack. Ayan.
That is one of the many minions that you'll be able to summon, and they will provide a lot of
many minions, guys. So take note, many minions. So there will be a lot of minions na pwede nating i-summon, and by the looks of it, siguro mas marami din cards na mai-introduce dito sa Axie Infinity Origins na magsa-summon or may capability to summon minions.
Different kind of effects and impacts, and create some cool metas, but also just create a really cool, I think, scenario in the game where you have a crab, sitting next to your Axie, and hanging out with its two lightsabers. So, yeah, super excited for people to see those in game.
I can definitely say the artwork is badass around the lightsaber wielding crab, but you mentioned like minions. I mean, that's a totally different take on Axie. I'm used to just seeing 3 potatoes versus 3 potatoes, but now you're telling me that these potatoes are going to get to bring some friends to the battlefield. Like, there could be a zoo strat here coming up, huh?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, it's completely new. When I first saw it, I was blown away too. So, yeah, excited for everyone to get to experience it.
That is the #1 meme that we've heard from the teaser. So awesome. Yeah, I can't wait for minions, man.
Alright, so yan, kinonfirm na rin ni JIHOZ na there will be minions na may isasummon. And so guys, it's not just the 3 potatoes alone. So we're gonna be summoning 3 potatoes na sabi ni Ziori, it's not gonna be 3 potatoes alone. Meron na rin tayong mga minions na may isasummon. And I believe those are the eye cards and the ear parts. Okay? Those are the ear parts and the eye parts. So yung mga nasasama natin na minions. Alam ko yun eh. Parang yun yung nakita ko dun sa mga pictures na nileak nila eh. Ayan. So pagpapatuloy natin, guys, dito sa 19 minutes, meron silang sinabi dito na tatanggalin na yung mga stats na kung anong meron ka ngayon sa Axie Infinity Battles V2, okay? So kung sa ngayon, halimbawa, kung ikaw ay may kung meron kang Aqua na may buhay na 45, speed na 57, and moral na just 20 plus, and then meron kang skill na 31, tatanggalin na nila yung stats na yun. Anong ipapalit nila? Ito, nandito yung kasagutan.
I want to go back to Axie classes real quick. We talked about the stats being removed, and now runes are going to be some of the more...
There you go. Stats will be removed, but runes and charms will be added. Okay? Runes and charms will be added, but in the future, I think those are the things that we can craft in order to for us to enhance those capabilities. Okay? But right now, we have to listen kung ano yung babanggitin dito ni Philip and ni Andrew.
Class-specific things. It feels like in the current version, V2, there are some classes that are just underwhelming by the way their base stats are set up. I think Dawns are the quintessential example of that. You can definitely see it in the breeding numbers as well. We've got how many millions of Aquas and like not even 20.
There you go. Sobrang dumami kasi yung Aquas. Sobrang dami nag-breed ng Aquas kasi, guys. Kaya nung naging OP yung AAP, no, yung classic AAP. Kaya sobrang dami talagang Aqua ngayon. Ngayon na yung Beast naman yung pinalakas, dumadami na rin yung Beast, no? Ayan, so it is one of the ano na rin naman na market strategy ng developers kaya binabago nila yung meta in order for them to sell those kind of Axies and in order for them na magkaroon ng breeding. Which one? Okay. This one? Para magkaroon ng breeding sa ibang class ng Axie. So pinakamarami talaga naman kasi yung Axie class ng Aqua. Okay? So, yun. And ito nga, i-remove na nga yung stats. At pinapaliwanag na nga dito, there are overwhelming Axies na pagdating sa stats, lalong-lalo na ngayon, overwhelming yung beast, no? Dahil sa 61 morale niya na almost all of the tira, no? Is nagki-crit talaga. Pero ano mangyayari dyan sa mga critical strikes na yan dito? Or sa mga criticals na yan, yung mga random crits na yan, ano mangyayari dito sa Battles V3 Origin?
1,000 Dawns. Can you talk about that at all? Like how these rune changes might be better for like more versatility in the Axies and giving these classes that have been historically kind of underloved more of a chance to shine?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely gives us a lot more room to, tweak things and create different value for classes that maybe haven't had as much love in the past. But yeah, there'll be, in terms of runes, there'll be neutral ones that, any Axies can use, but there'll also be ones that can get equipped to to certain Axies of certain classes. And so you'll definitely see some unique kind of...
If I'm not mistaken, these charms and runes, ito yung mga items na pwede natin equip sa Axie natin when we're doing battles, okay? Ito yung mga nakikita nyo ng mga emblem na pwede nating ilagay sa ating mga Axie. According to the leaks, no? Hindi ko mapakita yung mga pictures dito pero basahin nyo yung mga leaks ng mga pictures sa Substack ng Axie, no? Makikita nyo yun sa Substacks ng Axie page, and then dun yung makikita kung ano yung mga runes and charms na pwede nyo i-equip sa isang Axie in order for you to enhance the capabilities of your Axies. And one more thing, no guys, ang HP ng isang Axie is magiging isang magiging base HP ng mga Axie. So wala nang mataas na health like plants and dusk. Hindi na ganun kataas yung nila, yung HP nila.
Kind of utility come from the different classes based on those kind of class specific runes. So that'll be a big part that can help each class have their own kind of way to shine.
All right, so have their own kind of way to shine. Nga pala guys, hindi ko naman sinasabi na mas magiging maganda ang synergy ng isang Aqua or ng isang Axie pagdating ng Origin, kasi mas maganda dito, mas pure, mas maganda. Okay? Pwede pa rin naman mag-trade, pwede pa rin naman mag-breed ng ibang klase, ng ibang parts para sa isang Axie mo. Pero meron kang iti-trade off doon na synergy. Like halimbawa, pagka 4 yung cards mo sa Aqua, pag tinira mo yung mga cards na yun at nagkaroon ka ng combo, meron kang additional HP. Pero ngayon, kapag ginawa mo na i-breed siya sa ibang cards or parts, ay mawawala yung ganung synergy na madadagdagan yung HP mo or madadagdagan yung defense mo. Yun ang iti-trade off mo. Okay? Pero syempre, hindi nila tatanggalin talaga na pwede na, or hindi nila siguro tatanggalin yung meta na mag-breed ka ng ibang parts sa isang Axie mo. Kasi doon talaga sila kikita. It's a market strategy ng game din na ito ng Axie Infinity siguro. Ayan. So, kaya hindi nila tatanggalin yon. Okay, pagpatuloy natin guys.
Gotcha. I want to talk about the differences in Origin in terms of the actual gameplay, the way the turn order works now.
Alright guys, listen carefully sa Origin gameplay, okay? So maraming malilito ngayon kung paano gagawin ito, o maraming maninibago ngayon kung paano gagawin ito. Okay? So sobrang dami nating mga players na hindi pa halos naiintindihan kung paano maglaro ng Battles V2, lalo na mag-change pa ito sa Battles V3 or Origin, which is ngayon ay magiging sequential na yung tira. Ito, pakinggan natin.
As well as this new dynamic of unused cards. I think there was some curiosity about, like, will those cards be destroyed? Do they just get cycled back in your deck to be drawn later? What can you share with us around those sort of mechanics of Origin compared to V2?
Yeah, I think as mentioned in the post, it's all sequential turns. So basically, you have the first player who will get their cards. They can play the cards as they play the cards. The action happens.
Alright, so kung sino dito yung mga nakapaglaro na ng Yu-Gi-Oh, no? It's gonna be basically per turn or sequential. So una ako titira, and then magkakaroon ng action, and then pagkatapos yung kalaban ko naman yung titira. Okay? So ano mangyayari dito? Meron bang pass? Meron bang mangyayari sa mga cards? Meron bang mangyayari sa mga energies natin? Kapag hindi ba natin ginamit, anong mangyayari doon sa mga cards? Anong mangyayari sa energy pag hindi natin ginamit? Ito.
And then once they end their turn, then it's the other player's turn. They can play their cards. So it just keeps happening where it's a bit different from V2, where obviously people all choose their cards together and it all kind of plays out together.
Ayan, so naintindihan nyo guys, sa V2, parehas tayong pumipili ng cards na itatapon natin, and then after ma-enter natin both dun sa arena, pag nag-enter tayo both sa kalaban natin, tsaka tayo, tsaka lang magkakaroon ng action dito, hindi. So ikaw muna, titira ka, magka-action, tapos pagkatapos mo mag-enter, yung kalaban naman. Okay? Titira siya, mag-action, enter niya, ikaw naman. Okay? So salitan dito, ibig sabihin ng sequential is salitan kayo ng pagtira. Ano bang mangyayari dun sa mga cards and energies? Ito na nga yun.
So with that, each turn, some of the big differences, your energy and cards are all kind of recycled basically every turn, or removed. And so if you don't...
Okay guys, narinig nyo mabuti, every turn, marirecycle yung card nyo. Okay? So, hindi ka pwede dito mag-pass dahil mawawala yung mga cards mo. Okay? Paliwanag ko na mabuti. Ang pagkakasabi dito ni Philip, yung mga cards mo kapag natapos yung turn mo ay mawawala. Okay? Halimbawa, meron kang 5 cards. Okay? Pag ginamit mo ay 3 lang, let's say, meron ka pang natitirang 2 cards. Okay? Yung 2 na yun maglalaho sa deck mo. Okay? Maaaring isa doon magbalik, maaaring isa doon mabanish. Ito yung sinabi niya dito.
Use up your energy for the turn, it's gone. You can't accumulate by default, so...
Okay, wait lang pala. Yung energy mo, kayang mag-accumulate, hindi siya mawawala. Okay? So basically, parang ganun pa rin sa dati. Kapag tumira ka, kung halimbawa may 5 energies ka, tumira ka ng 3, meron ka pa rin 2 energies. Pero yung cards mo, it's not a guarantee that the cards will be retained kasi merong lang cards na pwede mong i-retain. Okay? May mga cards na pwedeng i-retain, may mga cards na hindi pwedeng i-retain. So, it's based on your strategy kung paano mo i-retain yung mga cards na yon at kung kailan mo rin yun bibitawan. Kasi, unang-una, may cards na pwedeng i-retain, may card na hindi pwedeng i-retain. At yung mga hindi mo pwedeng i-retain na cards, pag natapos ang turn, ma-recycle siya. Or pwede siyang mabanish. Or isa sa mga cards na yun ay pwedeng mabanish o hindi na kailanman bumalik. So we have to be careful when using and utilizing those cards. So intindihan natin mabuti yan dito.
That'll definitely drive people to just do actions and actually play it, not go skip turns, which obviously is one of the tactics within the current V2 game.
Yeah, skip turns is the current tactics talaga in order for you to earn cards and in order for you to earn energies. So while naghihintay ka ng cards, pwede natin gawin yun, mag-skip turns. But this in the Origin battles V3, hindi na yun pa pwede.
So that's one thing. And then, cards. Any unused cards will also be, by default, kind of discarded.
Okay? Some of the cards might be discarded, guys.
And eventually cycled back into the deck.
Okay? Can be cycled back to the deck. Pakinggan nyo mabuti.
Some of them can get banished.
Some of them can get banished. So, ibig sabihin, maaari yung cards na yun bumalik sa deck and maaari din na hindi. Okay? So, kahit kailan hindi na babalik yung isa sa mga cards na yun. Pakinggan nyo mabuti.
A new mechanic where, they will actually be removed from play. But yeah, there's, all these mechanics just introduce a ton of different new strategies and tactics that people will have to learn and figure out what works the best.
Wow, a lot to unpack there, but I think one of the biggest changes that's going to take a while to get used to is that sequential turn order that you just described. Right now, round 1, you both lock in your decisions, and then the Axies go back and forth based on speed. But in this new version, it's my turn, I do my actions, then it's your turn.
Ayun guys, so tatanggalin na nga yung statistics, diba? So binanggit dito ni Ziori or ni Andrew na hindi na ito based on your speed. It's gonna be based on your on turns. Okay? So wala nang stats dito, hindi na mahalaga dito kung sino yung pinakamabilis, guys. Meron siguro at some point, okay, pero hindi na ganun ka-importante dito kung sino mabilis kasi ang mangyayari dito is per turn. Okay? Anong magiging compensation nung isa? Halimbawa kasi, paano din nila dinidistinguish kung sino yung mauunang titira? Okay? And then anong compensation dun sa pangalawang titira? Halimbawa, kung ako yung unang titira, anong compensation doon sa kalaban ko, which is siya kasi yung second na titira? Ano yung basihan nila para ma-determine kung sinong unang titira? Andito yun, guys.
You do your actions. And to me, it seems like that pace of gameplay should be an improvement. You know, it feels a little more impactful. Like no more you play your cards, you press end turn, and then you sit there wait staring at the screen for your opponent to play their cards and end turn. Now, if you play quickly, like you get that instant gratification of seeing your Axies do whatever actions you played, right?
Yeah, totally. I enjoyed a lot more. I hope everyone else does too.
Awesome. Very much looking forward to that.
Okay, so meron pa muna palang tanong dito bago nasagot yung sino yung paano mo ma-determine kung sino yung mauunang titira?
Another concern that people have brought up is Origin going to be pay to win?
Okay, yung tanong dito ni Ziori, is Origin gonna be pay to win? Katulad ng nangyayari ngayon. Bakit sinabing pay to win, guys? Kailangan mo bumili ng magagandang Axie, kailangan mo mag-upgrade in order for you to win more SLP or more assets in the game itself. Okay? Ano mangyayari? Is it gonna be the same thing? Ito yung sagot nila.
Especially with the runes, how are we going to calibrate things and put controls in the system to make sure that it's not just a whales game where the richest player always wins?
Yeah, so ultimately there will be advantages to having certain blockchain, charms and runes, and even blockchain Axies, like it is now. But we want to continue to balance the gameplay so that players who are very skilled and put in the effort can still reasonably compete. And we've seen that in the past with V2 where people will pick up some cheaper Axies and be able to still compete. And so we want to maintain that spirit. But yeah, definitely certain charms and runes that people can get will give them a little edge for sure.
Ayun, so yun pa rin, no? They want to keep that spirit kasi doon sila kikita. No? Kung tatanggalin nila yun, they would lose a chance of earning more money from the investors or from us, no, na nag-invest dito sa Axie Infinity. So andun pa rin yung yung pay to earn, okay? So kung gusto mong malakas yung team mo, kailangan mo mag-upgrade, kailangan mo ng runes and charms, kailangan mo bumili ng mga ganung bagay-bagay in order for you to enhance the skills of your Axies. So ganun na mangyayari dito sa Origin, guys. Alright, so nandito na masasagot na yung tanong kung sino yung mauuna dito sa turns, no, ng battles V3 Origin. And ano yung compensation dun sa katapat niya?
For sure. And I think it'll take some time to find the right balance, and that's why also that we're releasing this alpha first, that we aren't just going to completely shut down V2 and turn on Origin and just jump over. We want to do that balancing, see how things net out, and make sure when we do kind of fully launch it that we've accounted for feedback and balanced a bunch of those things out.
Absolutely. And I think it's maybe worth reiterating that the general strategy with Axie and balancing is to not have, one particular group of Axies be totally broken and too strong in the definitive meta, but really have this meta of counters where it's like this revolving door of A is greater than B, B is greater than C, C is greater than A kind of thing. And it's more about matchups and strategy. And when it comes to tournaments, being able to see like, okay, this person brought these 10 Axies to the tournament, so I have a general idea of the kind of strategies they might want to try, and then that gives you an opportunity to try to play counters. But it's very much about this revolving door style of balance, right? Like rock, paper, scissors. None of the three are completely broken, but they all have different opportunities where they can win.
Yeah, totally.
Perfect. So now that we know it's going to be this sequential back and forth, how does it determine who goes first?
Eto na, guys.
And if I go first, isn't that a really big advantage? Like I've always heard in V2, speed is basically the most broken statistic because going first lets you do damage first, and if you kill an Axie that's played cards, that's a huge swing in the game.
Yeah,
right?
no turn kasi
how
yun.
do we calibrate for the first mover advantage in Origin?
Yeah, so the play order will be randomly determined before.
There you go. Randomly determined, guys. So randomly, it's either you or me ang mauuna sa tira doon sa battles V3, guys. Okay? And on in exchange, no, may mangyayari para ma-compensate yung turns para doon sa isa nating sa kalaban o sa katapat natin.
Battle starts, and then the player who goes second will actually receive a +1 energy card, meaning they actually get
Okay, guys. So, +1 energy card. Okay? So narinig natin merong mga energy cards, no? May mga bagong cards na lalabas, guys. So pag-uusapan natin 'yon sa part 3 ng video na to. So panoorin niyo rin muna to ng mabuti and then lipat tayo doon sa part 3. I-upload ko rin 'yon agad-agad para sa inyo, guys. Pag-uusapan din natin doon yung rage at crits, kung paano mangyayari 'yon, kung kailan magki-critical. Pag-uusapan din natin doon kung ano yung mga bagong cards, ano ba yung mga combos, mga pure, ano bang mangyayari, no? Yun yung mga yung pag-uusapan natin sa part 3 ng video na to. Pero pag-usapan muna natin kung ano yung compensation. So guys, nabanggit natin kanina na may mga cards, no, na mariretain mo sa deck mo. May mga cards na hindi ka pwedeng i-retain sa deck mo, na kapag ka na may mga cards din, yung mga hindi mo mariretain na cards ay partly doon, pwede yung iba bumalik, yung iba hindi na. Okay? So meron tayong mga energy cards. So energy cards are some of the cards na we can retain on our deck. Ito yung sinabi dito. Okay? So yun yung ibibigay na compensation doon sa katapat mo kung siya yung pangalawang titira. Kung ako unang titira, syempre may advantage nga naman ako. Pero yung second na titira, meron siyang madadagdag na energy card. So depende na sa kanya yun kung kailan niya gustong gamitin yung energy card na yan. Ayan.
They can use that card and get an extra energy, and so that'll be the current balancing of, you know, first player gets to go first, second player gets an extra energy, and so that's the
Gets an extra energy, guys. Look.
current way to manage, you know, the first player advantage.
Ayan. Doon nila minanage kung paano yung first player advantage. Alright. So nagigets natin, guys, ganyan na yung magiging takbo ng gameplay dito sa Origin. So there will be a lot of things that will happen. So I will keep you guys updated sa mga bagong lalabas pa na mga leaks o sa mga bagong lalabas pa na information from the developers themselves. Okay? So kita-kits tayo sa third video sa part 3 ng Origin Leaks. And I hope you guys, kung hindi ka pa nakasubscribe at nagustuhan mo yung mga content natin, subscribe ka na dito sa page, and I'll make sure to give out to the community or give back to the community once we hit the top and once we're earning money. Okay, maraming salamat sa iyo, guys. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.